We were in Kuala Lumpur for like a week or so, and since we had such a tight work schedule, we really didn't have a lot of free time to go out and see very much. So we had to kind of limit it to quick day trips that we could do from the city. Luckily for us, Batu Caves was close by, which is a shrine to the Hindu god of war. There's like 270 stairs that go up the side of a hill into a cave where there's a collection of other shrines inside. When you get there, there's a bunch of monkeys running around. They're really curious. Some of them seem like they're gonna take your wallet. They'll run right up to you and try to grab stuff from you. But yeah, little rascals. Once you start going up the stairs, it's not so bad. You get to rest every once in a while, kind of take things in. There's little landings that you can rest on. But you do get worn out pretty quickly. Luckily for us, it wasn't too crowded on this day, so you can use the handrail. It's there for you if you need it. You just have to kind of take it easy and, a little bit at a time. Your knees kind of get wrecked pretty quick. After a while, you sort of have a screw this sort of attitude where, you're telling yourself once you get to the top, it better be worth it, whatever's inside that cave. But it definitely is. One thing we noticed on the way up there was a monkey eating banana, and he just tossed his banana peel right on the ground, which if you've ever seen cartoons and movies, when you hit a banana peel, you quickly meet your demise. So this guy was definitely out to get somebody. I'm glad it wasn't us. There's little shrines and statues scattered about everywhere up there. Really didn't know too much about what a lot of it meant. There are signs some places. It's hard to read some of them. They're a bit far off. Everything was super detailed, really beautiful, very colorful. Once you go inside, it's like going into a different world. There's another set of stairs that leads you into a cave where there's a hole in the ceiling where you really start to feel like this is a real adventure, kind of like Indiana Jones or something. There's big birds flying around in there, and it's one of the most amazing things I've seen in my life. That was our last day really in Kuala Lumpur, and we decided at that point, since the weather was clearing up a bit, we checked the forecast and we wanted to go back to an island because we had a week off. We thought we could hit the beach and everything, so the next day we got into a van which took us to a small town which we had to stay overnight. First thing in the morning we took a boat that takes you to Langkawi. As soon as we checked in, we were like, all right, it's beautiful out. We got to go to the beach. And, we were immediately energized. We're not drinking alcohol at all on this trip, so I'm just amped on caffeine, running around and acting like an idiot as usual and, just having fun. My sunglasses fell off my head and didn't realize it at first. Had to go back and retrieve them. Since we arrived early, we spent the whole day just chilling on the beach, laying around. And according to the forecast, we were going to have a couple of sunny days, not a lot of rain, which we had been experiencing. So we wanted to get to the Langkawi Skybridge. So the next day, we hired a van, and he took us to the Skybridge. He did say that it was going to be closed because of the fog, but I called on the way, and they said it would be open. When we got there, it was closed. But it wasn't due to weather, it was because of maintenance. So we just had to wait a couple of hours. And, they had some other things to do beside the Skybridge. It's just a lot of stuff for families to do. There's a bunny farm there, a lot of virtual reality stuff, and like a 3D museum. Just, normal family kind of things to do on their vacation. And then of course you have the Skylift, where you get into a small cab, which is like a cable car. It takes you to the top of a mountain where there's a bridge, and you just kind of walk across it and freak yourself out a bit. When you get in line, it's kind of like a roller coaster at a very crowded theme park. You have to go through, all the lines and turnstiles and all that shit. But yeah, eventually you go into a little cable car with a few other people, and they send you up. The first stretch you go to some middle station where you switch to another car, and then you continue. There's a few little connections that you go through on the way up. We were a little bit afraid during one part of the trip up. It was around the highest point when you start to go straight up. We knew they were just doing maintenance, and then all of a sudden the cable car just stopped. And not only does it stop, it sinks a bit. So we dropped. It wasn't super fast, but we dropped about 10 to 15 feet and just kind of hung there for a while. And we kind of thought that was it for us. Once we got to the middle station, we were sitting there and waiting for the next car, and this little shitty one rolls up, and I guess it's like a maintenance one, and it carries stuff, but we assumed, oh god, this is what we have to take, but thankfully they let us skip that one. So that was good. After you look around the middle station and you sort of head over to the main mountain, it actually takes you above the Skybridge. You have two options to get to the bridge itself. You can walk through a nature park, which I think costs an additional, I think it's $5. They charge you for everything there. Or you can take a little tram, which is like 10. But we were like, screw it, we need exercise anyway, so we went this way through the nature walk, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of stairs, monkeys as usual. It probably takes about 15 minutes or so to get to the other side. And then when you get to the other side, you are on the bridge immediately. The bridge itself, to me, looks like a satellite just fell out of orbit and crashed into a mountain. It's really weird looking, but it's one of a kind. It's pretty impressive. So as it's really high up and it was a really windy day, it felt like there was a lot of swaying going on. Kind of walk across it, and yeah, if you have a fear of heights, it's definitely something that challenges you, that tests you. I don't really think that I have much of a fear of heights, but yeah, even I was just like, holy shit, what is this? This is crazy. Especially since there was a storm coming. We decided to wrap it up and head back down. If you look over on the observation, there's a window. It has a giant crack in it on the floor, and they just put a couple of cones on it and said, oh yeah, it's fixed. On the way down, it was pretty crazy. You have to go through the clouds and all the fog. It reminded me of the Stephen King movie, The Mist, which is an awesome movie, and I'm glad what happened to them in that movie didn't happen to us. At the end, we checked out, really quickly, the 3D museum. It was a little bit crowded there. There were a few school groups, kind of field trips. So it was a little bit hard to walk through some of them. But yeah, it was pretty cool. There are animals painted on the walls. One rhino had lingerie and eyelashes painted on it. You just kind of stand in these scenes, and it kind of looks realistic and funny. Annalie was attacked by a hippo. I sat inside of a T-Rex mouth or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Different scenery. One room was sort of like a psytrance room, glow in the dark. Pretty funny. But yeah, we're now in Phuket and wrapping things up here, doing a full-on work week again. And I have found the holy grail of ramen noodles, so that's going to be pretty awesome. So that's it for now. Take it easy.